And welcome to another Legion Live, brought to you
Legion
by
Live.
myself, Tim Jordan, and Norm Farrar. What'd you say, Norm?
I said, and Legion Live.
Legion Live. I mean, here I am trying to have this robust intro, and you're interrupting me.
Sorry.
Totally cramping my style, which
Oh
I have
my God.
very little of. So hi, everybody. As all of you are coming on, welcome to our little live. We're sharing this to a few Facebook groups and a few different places now. And, of course, it will be recorded and put on the YouTube next week once we can get a little editing done to it and mostly photoshopping and make Norm and myself look prettier. As we get started, if you would, make sure to like this live, this stream, share it if you've got some other groups or places you want to send it to, and all that good stuff. Today, we're talking about Amazon Prime Day. Prime Day is a hot topic every year. We're going to talk a little bit about what happened last year, what's happening this year, how to prep for it, if we should prep for it, everything Prime Day. But Norm, what about as people are logging on, some call to action? What can people do to get more information going forward from the Private Label Legion?
Well, they can take a look at the Private Label Legion, the new website with all the information. They can contact us directly at Private Label Legion. They can go to YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. We're everywhere right now.
Everywhere, except for
Everywhere.
We're not yet on OnlyFans, but we're hoping that's going to happen starting next month. I heard Nicole in the other office laughing. You guys don't want to see me at Norm on OnlyFans, I promise. All right. So, Norm, as we get started here, talking about Prime Day, how was your Prime Day last year? I know last year Prime Day was a kind of a disaster for most people. What about you?
Yeah, it sucked. It was the worst Prime Day out there. Not only me, I don't think any of our clients and any of the brands that I have, nothing was near what they were before. I think the only person that won was Jeff Bezos last year.
Yeah, and in Prime Day, for those of you that are living under a rock and not familiar with Prime Day, it's like the big kind of the replication of the Cyber Thursday that is usually done in the middle of the summer. It's usually like late May, early June, typically, where Amazon pushes all these people to come to Amazon. And they have some promotions like if you're not a Prime member, you still get the free 2-day shipping. And we'll give you free access for the day to like Prime Video to watch video, all sorts of crazy stuff. And it's usually a massive sales day. In years past, Norm, myself, and a lot of other people we knew did a bunch of stuff regarding Prime Day to get ready for it, take advantage of that increased traffic. But last year, remember, Norm, they delayed it because of COVID. I don't know if it was all the Amazon warehouses were all screwed up from staffing, but they moved Prime Day from June to October.
Yeah, that was awful.
How did that affect, you think, Prime Day being in October of last year?
Well, not only was it in October, it's affecting your fourth quarter sales, right? So with all of these sales happening, Black Friday, I don't think anybody took it really too serious.
Well, and remember, we couldn't take it seriously because you have to prep for Prime Day. You have to give inventory in. And last year they were shutting down the ability to send inbound inventory and inbound shipments in. So it's like they came out and said, hey, last minute alert, we're doing Prime Day in October. Send in a bunch of inventory, which you can't do because we restricted it. Yep. And then we've only forecasted inventory for Q4, starting Cyber Thursday, which is not long after October's Prime Day. So it was a disaster. So we knew that Prime Day was going to come back this year. They have not officially announced the date for 2021, but they have said it's going to be in June. And if you go over to the website, I don't know if I can share it on my screen here. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. If you look at the website, it just says Prime Day is coming.
Yep.
All right. Prime Day is coming. That's it. It doesn't say exactly when, but we're speculating June. Then they had some cool stuff. Prime Day 2020, 1.4 billion saved. That means basically discount. So the only people that won here were the consumers. There were some other interesting facts here. The fastest Prime Day delivery was less than 30 minutes. It was for air freshener, which is kind of cool. And then the most popular Prime Day product purchased globally was an Echo Dot, which I think is interesting that Amazon is pimping their own stuff. But hey, it's their platform. They get to do what they do. So, Norm, we need to talk about prepping for Prime Day. So making the assumption Prime Day is coming in June, and it is now May 18th as we film this live. What should people be doing? What are some of the ideas that you have about what people should be doing to prep for Prime Day?
Well, I don't want any eye rolling when I say this, but you've got to go back and take a look at your listing. There's a few changes that are happening right now. But take a look at those images. Take a look at what your competitors are offering. You might be offering some really a great price. You might be showing up on page one, but nobody can force anybody to click on your listing. So go back, take a look what your listing looks like, take a look at your titles, take a look at your bullets. And there's a few little things that are happening. We talked about it this morning, Tim, that they just announced July 17th that HTML should be stripped out of anybody who does not have brand registry. So if you've just got product description, the only thing that they will allow is the break command. So you want to take a look at that. You don't want to have uppercase in your bullets or in your title. And it'd probably be a good idea just to take a look at the style guide to see what's acceptable for your listing. But those little things, and even if you scroll down a little bit further, take a look at your A+, take a look at the questions. One really cool thing that you can do right now that I don't think a lot of people are taking advantage of, sticking with listing optimization. How great would it be to have frequently asked questions, your manuals, any type of documentation that would help support the sale of your product compared to your competitors? And you can do that now if you go under inventory to your managed product documents section, and you can upload a ton of different types of documents that they show you what you can do, what you can't do. So those are a few things that I would do. What about you?
So basically, if I could just summarize what you're basically saying, hey, Prime Day's coming. Big things are going to be happening. Get prepared for that increased traffic. Because we know a lot of people are going to be coming in to Amazon. So right. There's going to be more competitiveness. There's going to be more people pushing. So you're saying get your ducks in a row, your T's crossed, your I's dotted, make sure you're ready to make those conversions. I agree with all of that, but I'm also going to potentially say something that's going to get some eye rolling. And that is, I don't really do a whole lot for Prime Day. Prime Day for me has never been exceptionally good. And when we look at the advice given out about Prime Day, really the only way to get featured and focused on by Amazon is to give ridiculous discounts, ridiculous promotions, some of which you have to actually pay cash to even get into the promotions. And then it's ridiculously competitive because everybody coming to Amazon for Prime Day is looking for something stupid cheap. They're looking for those crazy 90% off lightning deals, right? If I'm selling that typical outdoor Frisbee accessory, it's not like people are going to go, ooh, I'm waiting till Prime Day to buy that accessory. No, they're going to buy it when they want to, right? And even if they do come for Amazon Prime Day and they're not Prime members, they're already getting the benefit of free 2-day shipping. What's the point of me reducing the price, right? In my opinion, what's happened a lot on Prime Day is people reduce their price, they lose their butts, they run out of inventory. And the biggest thing that we have this year that's going to be a struggle for us in scaling is inventory, right? Amazon keeps restricting the inbound inventory because the demand for e-commerce is going up. Their warehouses are running out of space. They can't get staffing fixed, even though they hired 300,000 warehouse workers in the last year, right? And they're still hiring. So in my opinion, Amazon is telling us, hey, for Prime Day, you need to promote your stuff really heavily through these super discounts. You need to send in more inventory, which we don't really allow you to do. So for me, best case scenario is I plug all the cords in, I pull all the levers, and I have a ridiculous amount of sales, but it's at such discounted price. And then I wipe out my inventory. It kind of screws me, right? And then we also know right now the inbound check-in system in Amazon is so egregiously slow, ridiculous. You're already limited on what you can send, and the stuff you're sending is taking forever. It is May 18th. If we say that even the Prime Day is even at the end of June, it's too late. There's not enough time to pump in your inventory. So maybe if you have inventory in your warehouse, you can do merchant fulfilled. That's great. But we know that Prime Day doesn't love non-Prime products. So I don't know, man. My opinion is, I think I agree with you, Norm. Get ready for some increased traffic, but don't do ridiculous discounts. Don't do these ridiculous promotions. Don't try to send in a ton of inventory because it's not going to get in time. And just kind of see if your sales go up or down. I'd love to hear comments from some of you, how Prime Day's been for you in the past. But for me, and a lot of other people I talk to, it's kind of business as usual.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying there, Tim. I do have a little nugget that I could throw in there with your inserts. I'm not sure if you ever do this, but one of the things that we do is we use dynamic codes. It doesn't help for purchases that are made on Prime Day, but if it's leading up to it, maybe a month prior to it, you could do pre-launch Prime Day. And we like doing this by using dynamic codes on the insert. And we just go in, we change the code, and then that code goes over to a page talking about some of the discounts that you can offer, or it even drives people over to our web page. So this is just something that's so easy to do when you're making up a QR code. Just make sure it's dynamic and not static, and you can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah, so again, just kind of tweaking and optimizing what you have. We know that last year Prime Day was massive in sales, and we know that Amazon is already forecasting their Q2 of this year to be bigger than anticipated, which is driving the stock prices on Amazon higher. And I have some speculation that they rushed Prime Day and said, oh, we're going to go ahead and do it in June to make sure that big sales day was in Q2 to help reach those goals. Do you think that Amazon is more focused, Norm, on the publicity of Prime Day and selling their own Echo Dots, which I know we have billions of, and rushing Prime Day? Do you think they have more interest in that than actually letting us prepare and take advantage of that increased traffic day?
I think that's obvious. Even last year, I'm not sure if this is 100%, but I read last year the winner was Amazon. They did 66% of the sales on Prime Day. So
you're talking about their products, so
their
the Echo Dots, the Amazon products, all that stuff.
Yeah. So they're lines of products. So 66% of the sales is what I read. I'm not sure how accurate that is, but it sounds in line. We weren't allowed to prepare last year, and even this year it's tight, even with trying to fit in these new ASIN restrictions, right? So they're giving you a block of storage. I don't know about you, Tim, but I'm finding that troublesome. I don't know how to figure that out yet. And so that's causing, just like last year with the IPI restriction or inventory restrictions, we still have that right now. So the only thing that I can do, and like you nailed it, if you have the inventory, great. But if you have to flip it over and create FBM, who wants FBM on Prime Day?
Yeah, I don't know of anybody. And I think that when you think about Prime Day too, when you think about the relationship between Amazon and us, the sellers, it should be a mutual relationship. Amazon says, hey, we're going to drive more traffic to Amazon. All right, we're going to bring people that normally aren't buyers and get them to buy. In, kind of partnership with you, the sellers, we want you to promote your stuff heavier, maybe spend a little more on PPC. Let's make this mutually beneficial. But when I look at Prime Day now, going into this year, they didn't give us enough time to prep. That's kind of, crappy. We know that last year the big winner was Amazon, so they could have chose whose stuff to push, and they pushed their own stuff. Didn't really benefit us. The information they're sending out for Prime Day seems very lopsided. The information is like, hey, to win on Prime Day, increase your PPC spend by 300%. Well, who wins on that? Amazon does, right? And then also when I was looking at the benefits of Prime Day this year, of course, they have the free 2-day shipping or Prime shipping. It's not always 2-day now. They have like different promotions, but they're also pushing on Prime Day digital assets. So they're pushing free ebooks. They're pushing Amazon Prime stuff. They're pushing like a live concert, I think, with Jessica Simpson. I was trying to remember some of this stuff. So it's like their Prime Day is not just about buying Prime products. It's about like, let's show everybody what Prime is all about. It's more like of an Amazon branding play, in my opinion, than it is like a product buying holiday. So I don't know. To me, it feels like it's a little bit lopsided and who's going to benefit from this. And don't get me wrong, I love Amazon. I tell everybody, you should be using Amazon, whether, you're just getting started, you're an existing brand, whatever. But I think my opinion, and it sounds like Norm, yours be too, when it comes to Prime Day, don't buy into the hype. Don't do anything, don't make any cataclysmic changes to your operations, your game plan, because it's not going to move the needle much. Like things are kind of going to be business as usual for most of us. If you get a bump in sales, great, but don't do that at the sacrifice of reducing your price by 30% and losing all your profit.
Yeah. And if you have a digital coupon up there, I mean, that might be incentive enough for somebody to buy. But you know what? We talked about this a long time ago, but you not changing your pricing. I've seen that with some of my clients who do not move their pricing at all. And they get sales because people just want to buy on Prime Day. But the other area for Prime Day to look at is if you have your e-com stores. If Amazon is making it hard for you to sell, or if it's just, you just can't get your inventory in on time, you can drive traffic over to your e-store. And when you do that, you can set it up where, when somebody comes on the page, you can have a pop-up that'll show, the product that you want them to go and buy, but you can upsell, downsell, cross-sell. When they go into your cart, you can also give them a bonus of a 10, 15, 20% discount back on Amazon. And so they go back to Amazon anyway to buy a product. So it's a nice little cycle. So you get their customer information too that way.
I know we don't want to spend too long on these lives, but thinking of other thoughts related to Prime Day, if we start to look at the way Amazon really pushed Black Fridays, starting in about 2016, by about 2018, 2019, they had actually changed the psyche of the e-commerce buyer where other platforms had to follow suit. So HomeDepot.com, Walmart.com, everybody was doing these instead of Cyber Monday, they were doing Black Friday online deals too. So they turned it into a 4-day online buying holiday. My suspicion is that because Amazon is great at just reconfiguring the expectations of consumers, that other online retailers are going to have to follow suit. And I think that it won't happen this year because with the craziness of COVID, still trying to catch up, it's just too soon. But next year, it's going to be interesting to see what other companies wait for Amazon to announce Prime Day, and then they announce their special day. I think, looking at a crystal ball here, it's going to be Walmart. Walmart's going to do it. Walmart is now the second biggest player in the e-commerce marketplace game. They're getting huge. They've got the best infrastructure and logistics in the world because they have essentially a distribution center and a warehouse in every little town in North America and, growing worldwide right now. They also have a lot of buying power, but Walmart's also doing some cool things for sellers. Lower fees, lower kind of bottom PPC costs, because even on Amazon, if you're not competing, they're still making you, pay up to like 90 cents a click or something like that. So I think next year what's going to be interesting is maybe when Amazon announces their Prime Day, we'll see other online retailers and marketplaces drop something similar on the same day to compete, which I think would be pretty cool. I don't know what you think, Norm. Maybe I'm just speculating. And
No, you know what? Walmart's coming up. And I was talking with Afalabi today. He's my partner over at Honu. And he told me something. This is the first time I've ever heard of this, that somebody listed on Walmart, their sales were so good that it outperformed. Now, that is not the norm. That's 100% not the norm. They closed their Amazon account because it was a lot less hassle.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
Walmart, it's coming. All right. Any other thoughts for Prime Day? I know we're getting close to the 20-minute mark. I think we can summarize by saying, for those of you that didn't know, Prime Day is coming. It's coming in June, we know. It looks like Amazon is going to be focusing more on their own personal identity, branding, and their own products than potentially helping sellers. They are going to pitch us hardcore to drop our prices, raise our PPC. But I think Norm and I have the same stance, which is we're going to let things play out like normal. We're going to tweak our listings. We're going to get things ready. We're going to make sure that we're optimized fully for potential increase of traffic. But generally speaking, we're not bending over backwards and counting this as a specifically or particularly special day, because the only way to make it special is to run out of inventory and decrease your profitability, which sucks. Anything to add to that, or was that a pretty good summary?
That's a very good summary, Tim.
It's good. It's mostly your wisdom. I was just rehashing it and making myself sound smarter than I really am. So,
oh, okay. I agree.
Copying your stuff like I always do. All right. Well, I hope that those of you that have tuned in have found something valuable in here. If you're watching the replay on social media, still drop comments or questions into the comment sections. Tag us so we can see it. We can get back and engage with you. Others who might not see it. And then also a week from now, this will be on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube and Prime Day is still coming up, go ahead and drop some comments in the YouTube video. Give us a thumbs up. Give us a subscribe on the channel. And make sure to go to privatelabellegion.com. privatelabellegion.com. We are kind of officially announcing the new website there, which is pretty cool. And some awesome stuff coming up there in addition to what's already there. And then also join our free Facebook group, which is the legion.group is the shortcut to get there. And it's just the Private Label Legion group on Facebook. But that's it. If you'll go in your browser and hit the legion.group, it'll shortcut you there too. So make sure to join that group. Check out our weekly lives, all the new YouTube videos. Norm, between all of us combined with podcasts and everything, we're dropping like 8 pieces of content a week.
More than ridiculous.
And more than that. Yeah. And most of it's going to in the Legion group. So make sure you guys check that out and subscribe to that group. Any other words of wisdom before we sign off here, Normina?
No, I don't think we don't want to discourage anybody from Prime Day. You know, it is a great opportunity. If you haven't experienced it before, sit back. It might be a really great Prime Day. I still think you'll see a bump in sales, but it's just not the huge bump that we had before.
Yeah. It can be a cool bonus, but don't bend over backwards trying to artificially create some huge, tremendous, successful day that's just not going to naturally happen.
Yeah. Hey, Tim, I got one last thing. Sometimes when people go on to Prime Day, they over discount. Yeah. So, you know, don't you don't want to discount by 50% or 30%. People are looking for the deals, but like you said, people are still going to buy your product because it's Prime Day. So don't lose your shirt over the day.
I completely agree. All right. Well, thank you all for joining in the Legion Live. We'll see you in the Facebook group. We'll see you on Lunch with Norm podcast, AM, PM podcast, everything else we've got going on. Appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you next week.
See you later.